My child, there are seasons when pressure enters your life with such intensity that your first instinct is not curiosity or surrender. It is escape. You want relief. You want distance. You want the weight lifted, the stretching ended, the atmosphere softened. That instinct is human. Pressure feels invasive. It exposes weak places. It makes ordinary days feel heavier. It shows you how thin some parts of your confidence really are. It confronts you with yourself in ways comfort never has. And because of that, it is easy to conclude that pressure must always be the enemy. But what if some pressure is not here to destroy you? What if some of it is here to reveal and build what could not be formed any other way? I am not calling evil good, and I am not glorifying pain for its own sake, but I am telling you this: not every intense season is proof that something is wrong. Sometimes the pressure you most want removed is the very place where your greatest strength is being born. Sometimes the squeezing is not meant to crush your identity, but to expose what is false, weak, immature, or dependent on surface conditions, so that something deeper can finally emerge. My child, pressure tells the truth. It tells the truth about what you lean on. It tells the truth about how quickly fear still takes the microphone in your mind. It tells the truth about your hidden dependencies, your unexamined motives, your fragile places, your need for approval, your appetite for control, your tolerance for uncertainty, your actual level of surrender. Comfort can hide these things for years. Pressure drags them into the light. This is why pressure is so uncomfortable. It is not only the circumstance that hurts, it is the revelation. When life is easy, you can confuse good moods with rooted faith. You can mistake lack of conflict for spiritual maturity. You can imagine that you are stronger than you are because nothing is currently testing the hidden structure of your inner life. But pressure arrives and suddenly the truth surfaces. The mind spirals faster than expected. Old wounds start speaking. Impatience rises. Fear demands interpretation. Performance tries to prove itself. Self-reliance tightens its grip. None of this means you are ruined. It means the place of strengthening has been exposed. You have often asked me for strength without realizing what strength actually requires. Strength is not usually handed over like a decoration. It is formed through resistance. It is grown through endurance. It is tested through weight. It is clarified through tension. A person becomes strong not because life never presses them, but because they learn how to remain with me while being pressed. That is different from merely surviving. It is formation. It is the difference between going through hard things and letting hard things under my hand produce a different kind of soul. This is why some of your current frustration comes from expecting pressure to disappear before it finishes its assignment. You want relief before revelation. You want the pressure lifted before the lesson becomes rooted. You want the atmosphere softened before the hidden weakness is honestly confronted. But if I removed every hard thing, the moment it became uncomfortable, many deep strengths would never be born. Your prayer life would stay shallower. Your surrender would stay more theoretical. Your courage would remain untested. Your patience would remain fragile. Your dependence on my presence would remain easily replaced by surface confidence. Think of birth. It is not quiet. It is not comfortable. It is not tidy. There is pressure, groaning, stretching, intensity, fear, pain, surrender, and endurance, all woven together. But what if what feels like pressure in your spirit right now is more like labor than destruction? What if something is being pushed into life that comfort could never have produced? What if the very thing you keep trying to escape is the place where deeper authority, cleaner courage, steadier trust, and more mature strength are being born in you? My child, I know you want out. I know you are tired. I know there are nights when you wonder how much longer your mind, your heart, your body, your emotions can live under this weight. I do not dismiss that ache, but I also do not want you to misread it. Some of the pressure is not proof that your story is falling apart. It is proof that something in you is being enlarged. Enlargement never feels easy at first. It stretches old limits. It exposes old patterns. It makes smaller identities feel too tight. It confronts ways of coping that no longer fit the person I am shaping. This is where many people run too early. They leave the process before strength is born. They numb the pressure instead of listening to what it is revealing. They distract themselves from the exposure. They call the season unfair and miss that it is also sacred. Then later, they meet another season with the same unhealed fragility and wonder why the same lessons keep returning. Pressure repeated without surrender becomes frustration. Pressure met with honesty becomes formation. What is the pressure revealing in you right now? Is it revealing how much of your peace still depends on control? Is it revealing the speed at which your imagination rushes toward loss? Is it revealing how much your identity still craves external proof? Is it revealing hidden resentment, fear, weariness, or compromise? Is it revealing that your inner life has been more governed by appearances than you realized? These exposures are not punishments. They are invitations. They show you where I am trying to birth strength instead of leaving you with polished weakness. My child, strength born from pressure is different from the strength you pretend to have. Pretended strength says, I do not need help. Born strength says, I know where my help comes from. Pretended strength says, I must look fine. Born strength says, I can tell the truth and still stand. Pretended strength is loud, brittle, defensive, and exhausted. Born strength is quieter, deeper, less impressed by panic, more rooted in truth, more willing to remain present under weight, without making the weight its identity. This is the strength I am forming in you. Not theatrical strength. Not the kind that only works while life is cooperating. Not the kind that depends on adrenaline, affirmation, or perfect conditions. I am forming strength that can remain under pressure without collapsing into chaos. Strength that can keep the heart tender while life is hard. Strength that does not require applause to stay faithful. Strength that can breathe inside uncertainty. Strength that knows how to return to my presence rather than multiplying internal noise. The enemy wants you to run because pressure is exposing the places where he has long operated quietly. He wants you to call the discomfort failure. He wants you to think that if the process feels intense, it cannot be holy. He wants you to medicate, distract, overreact, or abandon the process before truth finishes surfacing. Because once truth surfaces, freedom becomes possible. Once the false supports are exposed, you can stop building around them. Once the weak places are named, they can be strengthened. Once the unclean motives are revealed, they can be purified. Pressure is dangerous to darkness because it brings hidden things into view. This is why you must stop assuming every hard season is against you. Some seasons are against what should no longer remain in you, against the false strength, against the restless ego, against the addiction to constant comfort, against the old pattern that kept you shallow, against the identity wound that still wanted to be fed, against the fear that still expected to guide your future. In that sense, pressure is not always against your life. Sometimes it is against what has been weakening your life from within. My child, I know that when the atmosphere grows heavy, your first question is often, how do I get out? But there is a better question. What is God trying to form in me here? That question shifts everything. It slows the panic. It interrupts the false conclusion that difficulty automatically means abandonment. It makes room for wisdom. It opens the possibility that this season, while painful, is also purposeful. You stop only trying to escape and begin learning how to cooperate. And cooperation with grace changes what pressure produces. Without cooperation, pressure can make a person harder, more cynical, more self-protective, more suspicious, more numb. With cooperation, pressure can make a person wiser, humbler, steadier, cleaner, stronger, and more free. The same season can produce bitterness in one person and depth in another. The difference is not always the severity of the pressure. Often it is whether the soul stays close to me inside it. So stay close. Do not run from the place where your greatest strength is being born. Do not mistake labor pains for proof of failure. Do not confuse discomfort with danger every time your soul is being stretched. Some of the things you have been begging me to remove are the very tools I am using to deepen your faith, clarify your loyalties, purify your motives, and train your spirit to stand in a more mature way than before. That does not mean you glorify suffering. It means you stop wasting it. It means you let it speak. You let it show you where your reflexes still live. You let it reveal whether your habits can carry real pressure or only easy weather. You let it uncover the places where you still demand instant relief in order to trust. You let it teach your body and spirit the difference between panic and presence. You let it drive you lower into prayer instead of farther into self-protection. My child, one of the beautiful things pressure can produce is clarity. Under enough weight, you stop caring about superficial things the same way. You stop romanticizing what cannot carry peace. You stop chasing every shiny distraction. You stop treating every opinion like a verdict. Pressure strips away illusions. It shows what matters. It shows who matters. It shows where your real foundation is and whether it can hold. That stripping feels severe, but it can also be merciful. It saves you from building the next season on unreality. There is also strength being born through repetition. Every time you return to me under pressure, instead of spiraling into despair, strength is being born. Every time you choose truth over panic, strength is being born. Every time you remain open instead of hardening, strength is being born. Every time you resist the urge to numb, flee, or collapse into bitterness, strength is being born. It may not feel dramatic in the moment, but heaven sees those hidden contractions. Something real is coming forth. You may say, I do not feel strong. But strength is not always felt while it is forming. Often it is recognized in hindsight. One day you will look back and see that this season changed how you pray, how you wait, how you respond, how you discern, how you endure, how you love, and how you trust. You will notice that what used to completely own your inner life no longer has the same authority. You will notice that your peace is less fragile. You will notice that your reflexes are slower, wiser, steadier. That is born strength. It does not always announce itself loudly. It becomes visible over time. Father, for the one listening under pressure, bring holy endurance. Keep them from running too quickly from the very place where strength is being born. Reveal what the pressure is exposing. Purify what needs cleansing. Strengthen what has grown thin. Deepen their faith. Steady their mind. Help them cooperate with grace instead of surrendering to panic. And let this season produce a kind of strength that is clean, rooted, humble, courageous, and lasting. In Jesus' name, amen. My child, stop running from the pressure that was designed to birth your greatest strength. Stay near me in it. What feels like too much today may become the place where your deepest courage, clearest surrender, and truest strength are finally brought into life.